Hello everyone. So welcome to Tuesday's lesson. I hope you girls are watching the videos on daily basis, else it will be very difficult for you girls to like learn everything together. It's anyhow not that easy when you study everything together. But from the views on YouTube, I don't think most of you are studying that on daily basis because it's hardly 7 or 8 views on each video of math. So I don't think that most of you are doing that on daily basis. Anyways, it's up to you. What my advice for you is follow it. Do that particular day's work. Just do it on that day, so that you will at least have some relaxation towards the end. Okay, at least I know something from math, rather than keeping all and then watching all the videos together and understanding is going to be impossible. Okay, so in today's lesson I am trying my best to start the new chapter lesson. If I won't be able to, then of course that will have to be tomorrow, but according to weekly plan it's going to be today. You will have a new lesson today, but I want you to concentrate on this lesson because the steps are a little bit more, and then it's kind of bit confusing until you really get the way of doing it perfectly. So it's all right. I'll just give this period for only discussing the homework answers if I couldn't start the new lesson. So let me start with this question number 1. This was your homework. Question number 1 is y is equal to x minus 2, y is equal to 4x plus 1. As I always told you, make sure any one of the equations are in the form y is equal to, which will make your work more easy for you. So here, both of our equations are the same, right? So that's going to be y is equal to x minus 2, y is equal to 4x plus 1. So you can take any one equation in place of the y. You can write that. You can take this part, and write it here, or you can take this part and write it here. Any way you solve it, you will get the same answer. X will be the same, y is going to be the same. So what I am doing is I am taking this part of y is equal to this part and putting it in the first equation. As you know, this is going to be the first equation, this is going to be the second. So the second part of the equation I'm going to substitute in the first one. So the first step for me to write is 4x plus 1 equals x minus 2, right? This is the first part, because in place of the y here, I wrote the value of y, which is this one. Or you can also write in place of this y, you can also write as x minus 2 equals 4x plus 1. Your answer will be the same. Okay, now the next step is going to be bring all the variables to one side. So that's going to be 4x minus x equals minus 2 minus 1, right? Plus 1 becomes minus 1 when it comes to this side. Okay, so what is that going to be? 4x minus x will give you 3x, which will be equal to minus 3. So which means x is equal to minus 1, because minus 3 divided by 3 is going to be minus 1. Now we are not in the beginning stage of algebra that I will show you all the steps. Now x is going to be minus 3 divided by 3, which is going to be minus 1. Now is this the end of your answer? Of course not. You have to take any one equation which is easy for you to solve and substitute this value of x is equal to 1 in that equation. So for me, I feel the first one is easy, so I'll take the first one. Y is equal to, write the equation so that we know which equation you're using. Y is equal to x minus 2. So the next step is y equals, the value of x we found is minus 1. So we write minus 1 and minus 2 again, right? So minus 2 minus 1 is going to give you how much? Y is equal to minus 3. So this is going to be your answer. As given in the answer, x is equal to negative 1 and y is equal to negative 3. Yes, you can see the answer here. This is the answer. However you substitute or whichever equation you use, you are going to be getting y is equal to minus 3 and x is equal to negative 1. If you are not getting this answer, please go back and check your steps. Something you have missed out, or you have messed up with the set signs. Okay, now again here, question number 2, we have y is equal to x minus 4, y is equal to x minus x plus 2. Okay, so minus x plus 2, y is equal to, I will substitute this in place of this. or okay, I will do the other way now. I will take the first one's y and substitute it in the second one. Okay, so I will write my equation as x minus 4 equals minus x plus 2 as usual. Okay, why did that go down so much down? Okay, minus x plus 2. So what's the next step going to be? Bring all the x's to one side. So that's going to be x plus x, right? Because here already we have x plus x, because that's minus x here. So when it goes to the other side, it becomes plus, which is going to be equal to 2 plus 4. Minus 4 will become plus 4. What's the next step? X plus x is going to be 2x equals 6. So x is going to be how much? X is going to be 6 divided by 2, which is going to give you 3. Okay, so the value of x is 3. Now take any one equation to find y. So I will take the first one. It looks more easier to solve. Okay, so y is equal to x minus 4. So I have to write down that equation. Y is equal to x minus 4. The next step is to substitute the value. So I'm going to have y is equal to y equals x is 3 minus 4. So what is going to be the value of y here now? Y equals negative 1. So x is 3 and y is negative 1. So the answer is here. Y is 3 and x is negative 1. Let me just copy paste those answers so that it will be visible enough for us. And for this question number 2, what was the answer? X is 3 and y is minus 1. Okay, so this is the answer for number 2. Okay, for number 3, let me copy the answer and then let's check whether the answer we are getting is correct or not. You also know how to check answers. You can take any one equation and then you can substitute and check that also. Okay, now I'm going to do question number 3. First, always make sure if any one of the equations are y is equal to. Now here, as you can see, both of them are y is equal to, so you can do any one way. I will write 5x minus 3 equals 3x plus 1. Okay, 5x minus 3 equals 3x plus 1. Okay, what's the next step which we need to do? Bring all the letters to one side. So that's going to be 5x minus 3x is equal to 1 plus 4, because it's minus 3 here, so it becomes plus 3. Okay, I already calculated it, that's why it became 4. So 5x minus 3x is going to be 2x equals 4. So x is going to be equal to how much? 2, because 4 divided by 2 is 2. Okay, I'm not showing you that step. Take any one equation. So let me take the second one as I always took the first one. So in second equation, I'm going to write 5 equals 5. Sorry, y equals 5x minus 3. So the next step, I will substitute the value of y into x. 5 y equals 5 multiplied by 2 minus 3. So y is going to be how much? Y is going to be equal to 10 minus 3. So that is going to be 10 minus 3 will give you y is equal to. So that's how they got the answer. X is 2 and y is 7. They wrote it as an ordered pair, the value of x first and then the value of y. Okay, moving on to question number 4. So question number 4, we have 2x minus y equals 6 and x plus y equals negative 3. Now here, both of the equations, they do not have y is equal to. So it's we who have to do that. So up to you. You take this equation and make it y equal to, or you take this equation and make it y equal to. I will take the second equation because the first one has a negative sign. So if I take this one, it means it will become minus y equals 6 minus 2x, and then I have to multiply it with a negative sign again to make it positive, which is a bit more further steps. So let me take the first one, that's x plus y, right? X plus y equals negative 3. So I'm going to change this as y is equal to. So if I change this y is equal to, what is that going to be? Minus 3 minus x, right? Because when the x goes to that side, it will become minus x. Now I will use the first equation. That is, what's the first equation? Because I changed the first one, I changed the second one. So I'm now using the first one. So I'm going to use the first one. Draw a line so that will be clear. Okay, now the first equation is 2x minus y equals 6. So what I will do is, in place of this y, I will replace this whole thing in place of y. So how will you do that? 2x minus, in brackets put that minus 3 minus x equals 6. All what I did is, in place of the y, I put the value which we changed. That's all. Now you can see here it's minus minus means, of course, it's going to be a 1 here. It's an invisible 1, right? So you are going to solve this as, how are you going to solve this? Any idea? If you have solved it, yes, you will have an idea. So this is going to be 2x plus 3, because minus into minus will give you plus, and minus into minus will again give you plus. So plus x equals 6. So the next step is keep the numbers onto one side and move the letters to one side. So 2x plus x is going to be 3x equals 6 minus 3, which is going to be 3x equals 3. X is equal to 1. Okay, so this is going to be the value of x. Now moving on to finding the value of y. How can you find the value of y? Choose any one equation. So I'll use the second one. Oh, okay, the first one. Fine. So I'm going to use the first one. 2x minus y equals 6. In place of 2, in place of x, I will write 1. Minus y equals 6. So 2 ones are 2. Minus y equals 6. So minus y equals 6 minus 2, which is going to be minus y equals 4. Now you cannot have a minus sign with the variable. So yesterday I explained you need to multiply it by negative 1 to make it positive. So as a result, what happens is minus sign will be given to this side. So your answer needs to be y is equal to negative 4. I hope you have got the answers right. X is equal to 1 and y is equal to negative 4. So that's going to be your answer for question number 4. Okay, girls. So moving on to question number 5. Was it 4 or 5? Yeah, 5. Okay, so let me continue with this. Now again, what you have to do here, all what you need to do, you don't need to do anything here, because here already you have y is equal to x minus 7. Already one of the equation is in that form. So all what you need to do is this part which equals the y, you replace it here. So how are you going to write this equation now? 2x plus x minus 7 equals 8, right? Because in the second equation is already in the form y is equal to x minus 7. So all what you need to do is the value of y, you need to put it in the first formula. Okay, so what's the next step going to be? I always forget this. Okay, what's the next step going to be? 2x plus 3, 2x plus x is going to be 3x equals 8 plus 7, because minus 7, when the minus 7 moves to the other side, it will become plus 7. So that's going to be 3x equals 15, right? 8 plus 7 is 15, so 3x equals 15. X is going to be equal to 5, because 15 divided by 3 is going to be 5. Okay, what's the next step now? What are you going to do in the next step? You have the value of x, you have to find, now you've got to find the value of y. So let's find the value of y. Choose any one equation. Let me choose equation 2. y is equal to x minus 7. So you must write the equation, else we don't know which equation you're using. So you first write the equation and then you do the next step. So that's going to be y is equal to x is 5 minus 7, which is equal to y is equal to minus 2. Okay, so you will have x is 5 and y is 2. Let's check our answers. X is 5 and y is negative 2. So for this also, our answer was correct. Right? So I'm just pasting the answers here so that it will be easy for you to identify, else you will be confused what is x and what is y. Okay, now moving on to, did they ask you to check? Yes, they said to check the answer. Okay, we will check for this one, for this question here, question number 6, because I did not realize that. Fine. So here again, we don't have any one equation as y, right? So we need to change it to x or we need to change it to y. Now here, if you look at the equation, girls, it's 1 is 2x plus 3y equals 0. And the other one is x plus 2y equals negative 1. Now, if you would have listened to my video yesterday carefully, I told you always use the equation which has the coefficient, choose the variable which has the coefficient of 1, which means if there is no number in front of the letter, you just try to change that into the equal to. So here all of them, like this also, the coefficient is 2, the coefficient is 3, the coefficient is 2, but here we have a coefficient of 1, which means I will change this equation into x is equal to, rather than changing y is equal to, I will change this equation into x is equal to. So this is going to be x plus 2y equals negative 1. How are you going to change this? As you do for x, y, the same thing you're going to do for this. So how are you going to do? X is equal to minus 1 minus 2y. So because plus 2y will become minus 2y when you change to the other side. Now all what you need to do is, in the first equation, you need to substitute the value of x. Instead of x, you have to write minus 1 minus 2y. I know it's a bit confusing, girls, but unless you are very clear about the idea, it will confuse you. That's why we say practice. The more you do the questions, the more you will come to know. Okay, so here I changed the second question. So I'm using the first equation, that's 2x plus 3y equals 0. I'm going to use this equation to find out the value of y. Okay, so this is going to be, in place of x, I will write minus 1 minus 2y plus 3y equals 0. Why I wrote this? Because in the first equation, it's 2x. So in place of x, I replace the x with this value here, minus 1 minus 2y. That's what I did. I just changed the x and put that value in place of x in the first equation. So the others remain the same. So the next step is 2 multiplied by minus 1 is going to give you minus 2. Right? And then 2 multiplied by minus 2 is going to give you minus 4y plus 3y equals 0. Now, move the numbers to the other side. So here we have minus 4y and plus 3. So how much is minus 4 plus 3? That's going to give you a minus 1, right? So minus 1 we don't write. We write it as minus y. Or if you want for a more clear interpretation, I have to show it as 4y plus 3y equals 0 plus 2. Okay, this is algebra. I don't think I need to be repeating again and again how the signs are changing. So minus 4 plus 3 will give you a minus y. It's a minus 1, but we don't write the minus 1. So 0 plus 2 is 2. Now again, we cannot have a letter, a symbol with the letter. So all we do is give the number, to give the symbol to the letter. You know how it happens. You have to multiply both the sides with negative signs. So when you multiply, this is what will happen. Instead of its minus y equals 2, it will become y equals minus 2. Okay, now you found y. Now let's check for x. What's the value of x? So you choose the equation you feel is easy for you to solve. I feel the first one is easy for me, so I will choose that. So the first one is 2x plus 3y equals 0. Let me think. Okay, so the next one is 2x plus 3y equals 0. All what you're going to do is substitute the value of y in place of this. So that's going to be 2x, all right? That's going to be 2x plus 3 y is it equal plus 3 multiplied by minus 2 will be equal to 0. Okay, now the next one is 2x is going to be minus 2x minus 6, because plus 3 multiplied by negative 2 will give you minus 6 equals 0. So 2x minus 0 means 2x equals 0 plus 6 is 6. Minus 6 will become plus 6. So x is equal to 3, because 6 divided by 2 will give you 3. Surely, I don't know how many of your girls have got it right, but this is how you need to do it slowly so that you will not get confused. Okay, it's nothing is gonna harm if you do it slowly. So do it slowly and check whether the answer you are getting is right or it is wrong. Now let's check it. How do you check it? Again, take any one equation. Okay, for example, the first equation, what you got for x, you got 3, so write 3 in place of x. So that's going to give you 2 multiplied by 3 plus 3 multiplied by negative 2, which is going to give you 6 minus 6, which is going to give you equal to 0. As simple as that. That's how you check it. Just take any one equation, replace both the answers which you got, and just write it and then solve and see whether both sides of the equation you are getting is correct. If it's correct, your answer is also going to be correct. So the answer for this is going to be 3 and negative 2. X is 3 and y is negative 2. Okay, now coming down to this part here. Question number 7, your answer needs to be, let me first tell you the answer so that you will not get bored like how I'm getting. Okay, number 7 is 1 and negative 2. So over here your answer is going to be 1 and negative 2. So let's see how to get it. It's 3x minus 2y equals 7 and x plus 3y equals 5. So again here, to change any one to x is equal to or y is equal to, always choose the one which has the coefficient of 1. Again here, the coefficient of 1 is x. X plus 3y equals negative 5. Okay, so the next step of this is going to be x equals minus 5 minus 3y, or minus 3y minus 5. It's going to be the same. So all what you're going to do is choose the first equation, because we changed the second one. Now we are going to choose the first one. So in the first one, the equation is 3x minus 2y equals 7, right? Which means in place of x, I'm going to write the one we found out now, the one we changed. So that's going to be 3 multiplied by minus 5 minus 3y minus 2y equals 7. Because only what we did is, in place of this, in place of the x, I wrote the number, I wrote this part which we changed. Just I replaced the x with that part. All what you need to do is solve it. 3 multiplied by negative 5 is negative 15. Then 3 multiplied by negative 3 is negative 9y. Negative 2y equals 7, which means negative 50, negative 9y, negative 2y, because they both are on the same side, nothing will happen to them. 7 plus 15. So negative 9, negative 2 is going to give you a negative 11y, right, equals 22. So which means y is equal to negative 2. 22 divided by negative 11 is going to give you negative 2. Now that you found the value of y, let's find the value of x. So to find the value of x, again choose any one from it, any one equation. So let me choose the second one, as I chose the first one already before, but it doesn't matter. If you want to choose the first one, you can still do it. So x plus 3y equals negative 5, which means x we don't know, we have to find out, plus 3 multiplied by negative 2 equals negative 5. So x is equal to x plus 6, no, x minus 6, because plus 3 into minus 2 will give you minus 6, equals negative 5, which means x is equal to negative 5 plus 6. So x is equal to 1. So y is equal to negative 2 and x is equal to 1. So when you're writing as the ordered pair, you have to write it as 1 comma 2. Inside the parentheses, you have to write it as 1 comma 2. So this is how you solve the equations. Now I think question number 8 is also easy. I mean, it's the same way you need to solve. So once you solve, your answer is going to be negative 1 and negative 2. So the answer for question number 8 is going to be negative 1 and negative 2. I will only write the answer here because answer negative 1, negative. Okay. Okay, now question number 9. I will of course put the answer page on Edmodo, so you can just refer to that too. But I'm just doing this in case if you have you have to know the steps to do. Okay, now this question, let's see. Okay, if you have solved this question, that is question number 9, your answer needs to be 4 and 9. Okay, now this is quite a long procedure because you need to of course you're dealing with fractions in this question. Now I can hear your voices in the mind, teacher, this will come in the exam. Of course I don't know what will come in the exam, still we don't know also will the exam be there or not. I have no idea. Okay, but you cannot ignore it. Try to do question number 9. I will put the answers and the steps on Edmodo in a clear way because I don't want to lengthen this video. So there will be no homework for you girls, but if you have not done the homework, please try to do it. Just don't copy the answers from here, it's useless, you will not understand unless you try to do it by yourself. It's okay to make mistake, you will learn what the mistake you're making, you will learn from that. Just don't copy the answers from what I am doing, it will be useless for you. So it's, I think today I won't be able to start the new lesson, and even if I start also, you will not be understanding anything because this was a way lengthy lesson for today. So until I meet you in tomorrow's lesson, take care of yourselves and stay safe.